Hi, I'm going to introduce you to the International Children's Digital Library. It is a database of children's literature representing languages and cultures from throughout the world. If you are a teacher who has culturally and linguistically diverse students and you are trying to teach English as a second language, this would be a great place to look for authentic texts that are written in your student's native language. Uh, I have already registered, so if I sign in, I can I have a virtual library card which grants me access to the entire collection in the library's database. This shows you a simple search that students could use or you could use to find all kinds of books. Um, First of all, you'll want to select your language. If you yourself speak something other than English, then you could choose to read the website in any of these languages. And then if you're searching for books in a particular language, this shows you the large range of books of languages that the books are available in. I'm going to choose Spanish just for this example. And you can see that 173 books are available in Spanish. Some of these will be available in Spanish only. Others will be bilingual text, like this one here that I'll show you in a moment. And then there are also some that will be in Spanish as well as other languages. And so when you do your search, it will tell you exactly if there are other languages that you can find the book in. For example, this would be Spanish, but also German and others. This would be English, Spanish, and other languages. So you have a lot of different choices. And students who want to choose a book could choose by cover color, by age range, fiction or nonfiction, make believe and true, the length of the book, short, medium, and long, all these different options here, and then also more choices, more colors, short story series, all these different categories. Now that does not mean that there will be a book available in every category in every language, but those are the choices. Now I have already selected some books and added them to my bookshelf. So up here I will click on this bookshelf, and here are some books I've selected that are available in bilingual text, English and Spanish. So for my example, I'm going to show you this one called Angels Ride Bikes and Other Fall Poems. I'm going to go back to my bookshelf and I'm going to go to preview, because when you open the book originally, this is what you'll see. And you'll see basically a summary description of the book. And then if you click on read this book, the book will open as if you're seeing all the pages at one time. And you can start at the beginning, or in my case, I'm going to skip to this page for my example. I've chosen a poem called El Dia de los Muertos. It's about the Day of the Dead, a Mexican holiday that is rich with tradition, and a lot of Mexican students would be familiar with this. And so you can see that the text appears side by side in both Spanish and English. And at this point, as a teacher, it would be up to you how you wanted to present this text to your students, depending on what the focus of your lesson is. In my case, I'm going to show how there are a lot of cognates and that transfer between Spanish and English, and point out some differences in syntax, and there would also be a lot of other possibilities just for this one page. So if the students would read the poem both in Spanish and in English, maybe you would have a Spanish-speaking student read it in Spanish, an English-speaking student read it in English, and then as a class you could look for cognates, words that transfer between the two languages. For example, flores is very similar to flowers, and dedicamos is similar to dedicate. Un altar is similar to an altar. Familiar and family. We also have ofrendas and offerings. Recordar and recall are similar. Música, music. Imaginamos, imagine. Looks more similar than it sounds. Photo and photo. And visitar and visit. I think I caught most of the cognates in that one. So you could talk about those as well as the syntax, the order of the words. For example, in some cases the words appear in similar order and structure in the poem, and then in other cases you might find that the order is completely different. For example, con la música los imaginamos bailar, and we imagine them dancing to the music. Well, we have with the music they imagine dancing, and here we have, or we imagine them dancing, and here we have we imagine them dancing to the music. So you can see that the syntax changes with the language. Another important thing to point out. If you were working with younger students, you could look for things like, in the English version, you could look for consonant blends, like BR, brings, FL, flowers, stories, ST. It all depends on what your focus is and in what you're going to do with the lesson. But you're going back to, again, an authentic text, and you are contextualizing whatever the skill is that you're working on. And that's what I really like about using this site with your students. And then you can also you can zoom in on the page, you can zoom out. So you have a lot of options. If I go back to my bookshelf, I'll show you another example. This is a simpler text, and you can see that the text is on the same page. You see that it is parallel to the other text. So you have the Spanish and the English, so you can compare and contrast easily, and you can see both the text and the picture at the same time, or if you choose you can look at one page at a time. I prefer the 2 pages to see the picture along with the words. But there are so many options for this website, and I am so impressed with it that I wanted to make sure that anyone who is working with kids and looking who are speaking different languages, and you're trying to teach them English in the context of their own language, that you will be aware of this website. So thanks for listening.